Yeah, one of them will be joining us.
All right, so edge knot. Everybody familiar with the edge knot? So, edge, the first word is explain, demonstrate, guide, enable. Extra credit. Okay, so E for explain. When you guys are teaching your merit badges, so you're in PFC, you're obviously aquatics, okay. So when you are teaching your skills, it's what you want to do is explain what you're going to do and why you're doing it before you actually start demonstrating. So the most common one we use when we're teaching the edge method is tying square. So rather than starting tying the knot right away, you explain, what we're going to do, what a square knot is, what it's used for, and then how we're going to do it, and then you go into the demonstration. One of the things that a lot of instructors will do that causes confusion if you're doing something like the ropes, don't hand them out when you're doing the explainer before you do the explain. You're going to mess around with it and try to do it right away. That's not what you're saying, right? So keep in mind when you have things that they have to work with, when you give that to them in the process, distract them. Same thing if you give handouts and you give them a handout right away, you're going to read the handout rather than listen to what you're saying. So you have that stuff at the end. Okay, so besides just explaining your concept and what you're going to do, what other things do you think you can cover in the explain section?
And unfortunately, you're left-handed, so you should never use your right hand. So you need to get this band over your shoulder with one hand.
Okay.
The way that you use it.
Okay. So what about your first merit badge class every week? It's one of the first things you probably should be going through for the whole week, right? Cover the merit badge. What are the requirements? What is expected? There's going to be these things you guys are going to have to do in your site, or you're supposed to do ahead of time. So you cover that concept of explaining the whole merit badge process for the week, and then go into the specific skill sets. All right, so demonstrate. So campcraft, knots. This is a big one. Can you tie? Are you left-handed or right-handed? Okay, can you tie your knots left-handed? Okay. I'm left-handed. I'll tell you, growing up, it was really bad because nobody ever knows how to do anything left-handed, so everything was taught right-handed. So I was taught to shoot a bow right-handed, left-handed, left-eye dominant. Every skill that I've been taught is right-handed. Using scissors, you can't find left-handed scissors anymore. But I had to learn how to use scissors right-handed because they don't work for switch hands, which is really weird. So think about the skills that you teach in your areas and what makes sense that should be taught two different ways. So what I would do when I was doing the knots down in boating is I would find out who my left-handed people are and have them you guys stand over here, right-handed people, and then I would show them they're not right-handed, and then I would switch and show them not left-handed. It takes extra time to learn your skills that way, but it's going to be really important for helping those left-handed guys adapt. So in your different areas, what things do you think would be affected by left-handed, right-handed? So knots is obvious, right? Shooting. Okay. In the shooting area, it's also eye dominance, which is important. So a lot of people say he's left-handed, right-handed here, but in reality, eye dominance takes more precedence, especially on the gun side. He's right-handed, but he's left-eye dominant. So when they go to shoot, they see who's right-handed. Use the knot, they'll shoot right because he's the wrong way. So notice now when they say that, they say I'm left-handed, I'm not. Bow is a little different because there's strength involved in that one too. So an EcoCon. Is there anything in there that's probably not that I can think of off the top of my head? All your stuff is talking and constructing type stuff. Okay, so in both, the voting side, you've got different, the paddles and demonstrating the J-stroke, like left-handed, right-handed type of thing. Now by swimming, not so much. Or anything I can think of.
With swimming, you just have to be able to, some people will swim on the right side of the boat, so you have to do
Yep, yeah, like a side stroke and whatnot. Yep. That's a big one. That's what everyone's been saying on something. Like, yeah, you got the laziest job. All right. What about PFC? So we covered knots. We'll think through some of them.
Do
You learn about knives.
How to use a knife and how to use a saw and an axe are all important left-handed, right-handed skills. Sharpening the knife is the opposite hand. And they're supposed to do it in both hands, right, for which side of the blade, so they're not doing it towards them. So you got to go through that, and as you guys are practicing your skills, try to do that with the left hand and think through the concepts of which is going to affect. And so your demonstration turns into two demonstrations for those physical type of things, so that you're helping with both. Besides left-handed and right-handed, what other things that we might have to adapt our demonstration or our teaching skills to? Okay.
Find out like if there's just like one of them, or just like have them chill a little bit, and then afterwards I'm going to go to or stop the class.
Okay.
Or if there's just somebody who's done it.
Alright, what else? Learning styles. Now, in the concept of camp, you guys only are with these guys for 5 days, right? So it's a little bit harder. It's easier for a teacher in a school system to kind of learn and understand what the triggers are for each person. But you can tend to find out some of the ones that are more naturally visual learners versus, wanting to read and whatnot. So as you're going through things, think of the different materials that you can provide or ways that you can provide the materials to the scouts. So, if there's handouts, fit in pictures and text instead of just text or vice versa. Is it something that you can have a model set up of, like the knot board? They can go over, they can see the different steps, and look at it and learn that way. But yeah, the disabilities is a big one, and that can range from all sorts of things, from just ADHD, where their just attention span is really short. You got to find ways to get them to focus, do things in short segments, move them around a lot. It's a big thing. So if we're doing a lot of walking type training, so like the EcoCon, rather than sitting at the table inside, if you've got some fancy kids, maybe you go a little bit as part of the hike. So you go walk a little bit and then you stop for swings, things like that to adapt your teaching style to what the scouts need to get that teaching. Now, the other thing is, so most of you guys are going to be just one person teaching your section, right? You don't have an assistant. But if you do have a severe scout with severe disabilities, hopefully the scoutmasters will let you know that in the beginning of the week. But there may be a situation, and it was pretty rare, I think there might be a situation where you want to go to the scoutmaster and see if there's a leader that can help during that class if that scout's really struggling with either keeping up with paying attention or something like that. So don't be afraid to communicate with the scoutmasters if you're struggling with students in your class. I'm a scoutmaster myself, I would welcome that because some of the guys we know what their triggers are and how to refocus them. Especially when you get to the autistic spectrum, you guys are familiar with autism and Asperger's, those type of concepts. We call it spectrum now because they all fit into a slightly different category. So it's not as easy to say, oh, you have this and that, I got to change for this. But they tend to different degrees. Yeah, they have different degrees, and it's going to affect their focus and how they participate in class. So one of the things that's come up that I've seen happen is you'll have a scout who is on the autistic spectrum and is always distracted by what's going on, but is constantly listening to everything happen. We had a situation where we had an older scouter who was trying to explain something to scouts, and she barked at this one scout because he wasn't facing front. He was pacing around the room. He knew everything that she said, but she was just so used to the concept of when I'm up in front, everybody looks at me, focuses on what I'm saying, you have to look at me to understand what I'm saying.
When you're scouts, when they start a daily plan with you,
He couldn't sit and stare at one place, but he was hearing everything that was going on and processing. So you gotta watch for that a little bit too. Different triggers, especially on that. Careful with the ones where you have to touch someone. Swimming, float, doing those types of things.
like time scales, like
First aid, any of those types of skills where some of them don't react well to touch. So you gotta make sure that you say, can I? This is a big one that changed in aquatics. When I first started doing swimming and stuff, when you're helping somebody, say learn to float, you would just instinctively put your hand under the small of the back and help push them up and say, okay, march your back. And then more and more of the protection, those types of things became more of an issue. And so now we had to learn it like more normal for you guys at this point. But it's like, okay, would it be okay if I put my hand under your back to help support you? You have to ask that.
You probably experienced this. There's a huge curve with everything.
One, that they're comfortable with it and they're expecting it. All right, so
Basically,
demonstrations.
Does that make sense? What does it mean when I say there's a learning?
How does the demonstration apply to something that's not a physical task? So obviously it makes sense when you're doing knots, you're doing strokes,
That's Sabrina.
paddle, axle.
I've never seen this before, where you have like 1 to 10-year-old kids where like they're really social, they kind of think of everything, they're really comfortable doing some mechanical stuff, and then you see another 14 or 15-year-old who has a lot of behavioral issues, or they're not always asked to be there, or they have trouble doing more tasks them to do. From veteran.
Bringing like a real.
So it applies to all ages. Right, so after demonstrate, going into guide. So for explain and demonstrate, we haven't given them any materials at this point necessarily to be touching using the book example. You get into guide, and that's where they're going to start doing the task. And kind of walk you through that still at that point. So that would be they'll have the rope, you say, okay, you take the rope in the right hand and put it over the left, and then they should all be doing it with you as you do the demonstration or in the guidance section, right? What kind of things do you think could affect or change the way you have to do your guiding? Class size is a huge one.
So we're going to do a cool practice activity, okay? We're going to do a cool practice activity.
Okay. Get like a bigger class.
Because we're going to learn about activities and how don't get ahead of me, Katie. Basically,
So if you don't have an instructor or assistant, you're the only instructor, how could you break them up into smaller groups together?
Practice times of dots, practice
Exactly. Yep. So you already knows the skill. So the knot one's easy, so I can go back to that. I teach Oakley because the adult training, and I usually teach the knot section. And it's always happens that you start to teach the knots. You've got some people that have no clue what they're doing, and so they're trying to fumble through it. And you've got other guys that are, done in 30 seconds and just start talking and gabbing on the side. So same thing applies in any scouts that knows these skills already. Task them as the assistants. Say, hey, can you come over and help this scout over here who's really struggling? And use those people and their knowledge to
You know what? Hey, let's use that because I just said that
instructor, you need to be able to be available to all of the students. And like you said, bounce around to their area to area to make sure that everyone's getting to the task. All right, what else in the guidance section do we need to be aware of? Yep, that applies all the way through, absolutely. It's a good one.
I got right now,
At least in my troop, the kids already tried to knock it on top of it, like jump ropes or like
Exactly.
All right.
Keep it.
So, because again, it's positive, it's fun. Maybe some scouts initially want to come to camp just to learn the ways of eating.
Scouts, by their nature, like competition. Do anything that you can incorporate in the merit process, once they learn a skill, to use that in some sort of competition, helps reinforce that. Most people have that drive to, you know, to compete and win, right? Some more than others. Always single. I mean, it's weird to have to be like that. Okay, so enable. This is the weird one for people. What is enable all about?
So guys, that's kind of my wrap on objectives. So we get the idea.
kind of get that up to like.
Next, we're gonna have a discovery experience. Okay, the discovery experience is a fascinating thing that has to do. That goes along with the teaching process. This is when the kids, in their immersion, like get past the first opening points. They
You need to be able to do the skill and
revelations about how they're learning something. Okay,
understand it's practically on their own without coaching, right? So this is the one where in the troop setting, and is always an issue where you have older scouts teaching younger scouts. And okay, the site tie square knot. Okay, nope, that's wrong. Okay, here you go. Go back and forth a little bit. You show it to them. Okay, you're done. It's done. Right. The next week comes the troop meeting. The scout tie the square knot. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. So it's learning the skill for the long time. So in a lot of those situations, I wouldn't recommend signing things off. It's different for you guys because you got the whole week to do it. But think about that.
I need to know
That
this.
there needs to be some sort of review process throughout the week. And most of the merit badges will build on that, right? So if we take swimming, for instance, right? You're learning the strokes, and then as the week progresses, you're going to be using them over and over again, and you'll be able to see them do it. And boating, you know, you teach the strokes, and then they have to go up and actually demonstrate them. You have the course that you set up, or when they go up to the camp and back, so that you're seeing them using that skill, you know, over the course of the week. So that helps make sure that they do understand what that skill is. That's the other thing that happens in merit badge training a lot, is for the talking side things. You gotta read the requirement and teach the requirement the way it says. If it says, discuss the 8 points of safe swim defense, that doesn't mean as the instructor you sit up in front, you say, okay, here's the 8 points of safe swim defense, we're going to explain them all. Okay, any questions? No, okay, sign everybody off. Sure. They need to be able to know it and discuss them back. And that's maybe in a 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 situation. It's hard to get a class of 120.
But basically, we
Kind of like a typical class size.
Or
Any American.
it depends. The lowest we've had is like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We've
it's
had
kind
is
of,
probably more.
it's kind of a review.
So you're trying to have a discussion and get, make sure 12 to 15 people understand the 8 points of safe swim defense. It's a little bit trickier. And then, you have 8 different safe swim defense, but you gotta bring out ways to reinforce that. Questions and scenarios and those types of things. You have to repeat it, and then using it again later in the week to reinforce it. Maybe in breaks, so you know, different stuff, you're transitioning from one thing to another. Hey, okay, everybody repeat the 8 points or whatever. It's good anything.
You like talk about J stroke one day, Tuesday you talk about J stroke, and then canoeing again.
Okay, so
while you're
that's what we gotta do.
you say,
Kind of this one, this is kind of you start feeling the links, you start realizing what isn't there. there wasn't necessarily.
Other thoughts on the enable
And that kind of
portion?
leads to our third one, motivation is kindled. This one is pretty self.
So one of the things, everybody's heard the term practice makes perfect.
No, no.
I have a slightly modified version of that. I say practice makes permanent. So nobody's ever going to be perfect at anything, in theory, right? But learning the skill and making it a permanent part of your knowledge base, so that 10 years from now, somebody's having a heart attack, you know, oh, there's, that first aid stuff that you learned, you don't have to go look it up in a book or let me do a Google search. You know some of it. You may not remember every move, but you've got a lot of that kind of ingrained. It's like the muscle repetition concept. The more you do something physically, your body gets used to that, it learns that motion. It's the same thing with knowledge process. The more that you ingrain that into your memory, over and over, and it becomes permanent. It becomes part of your skill set. So learning knots in class for the merit badge and rank advancement, and then never tying it again to your scouting career. You're not going to be able to use one of the jokes. Like competing scouts, they'll not tie, you did it for
So if you really want to
second class advancement.
you really need to learn these safety.
So make sure there's ways that they can use that over and over again through the course. The enable goes on a little bit beyond just being able to do the skill on their own, but it's thinking of different ways or where it might apply differently. So in some of the different areas, this will probably come more of like the non-physical things, the talking pieces, where, in what other areas besides just on a camera would leave no trace? How do we use leave no trace in our day-to-day living type of thing, right? So they start thinking outside of just what they learned it for, and that helps ingrain that concept. Does that make sense? So edge, so what we just went through, and what we're talking about is what we call edge, but it's technically the teaching edge. There's actually 3 levels of edge. Edge is used for 3 different things. So there's teaching skills. There is leading or dynamics part of edge. And then there's what they call trainer's edge, which is actually the course that we teach for instructors. The leading edge. So leading edge talks about group dynamics. You guys heard about the stages of development. You have YLT guys do. You have the group forms, the group storms, the group norms, and the group reforms. The last one that's not always talked about is the disbands. So forms is like what you learn in the bench class, right? That's technically their team for that week, right? That hour of merit badge. That group's going to be together every day for the rest of that week. So there's a forming stage. In the forming stage, attitudes are very high, they're very positive, they're very excited for the most part. This is something they want to do. They signed up for these merit badges, they should have some interest. But their skill level is obviously very low because they haven't learned anything. So there'll be all the excitement that you just joined in, it's getting them to understand class and all that type of thing. So you go from forming to storming. Storming is the stage where they've realized that there are differences in the group. We got natural leaders who have butt heads with each other because they all feel that they should be in charge. Or the guy who thinks he knows everything and wants to answer every question. And you have to learn to get him to let other people talk. You get the quiet person. You can jump in anytime you guys.
So they might have some strengths and some weaknesses. When you do that, failure instruction only
so then the arguments start. And people hear storming, so like in Wood Badge, which is someone in YLT, I always get a patrol that says, oh, we never went through storming. They did. It just may have been very minor. Sometimes it's not even outwardly noticeable as much. So if I bring up an idea for, say, patrolling, and I'm not applauding for that, hey, when you keep your mouth shut, you're just kind of out of the group a little bit, not really paying attention. mentioned because you're not into the idea, that's a formal storm.
Yeah, we had
That
that.
actually happened.
Okay, so you guys went through this already, right?
I was throwing against the first few of the handshakes gave us those games. That makes sense.
What is it against? Why do you think you were Sunny Bed?
Yeah, I wanted the rebel lines. It would just be like Star Wars.
There you go.
But they're like
Again, kind of like that, this idea of,
the rogue. I was thinking the rebel alliance or the rogue.
There you go. So yes, you went through some of that concept. So then and the way you move through stages varies from group to group. So after Storm, you get into Normandy, and that's the stage you guys will start getting to as you get together more. That's where things start to settle down. So your enthusiasm is starting to creep back up. You were high enthusiasm at forming, it drops down to storming, and this is going to start climbing back up in Normandy. Your skill set is also climbing at this point. Right? You've gotten through the part where you don't know anything. And so that goes to the classroom skills, but it's also knowing each other and how you guys interact. And then ultimately you want to get from the forming to the forming stage. That's where everybody in the group knows their place, everybody else understands everybody else's strengths and weaknesses, and they work together to offset those. So if I'm weak in an area, you're weaker in it, you pick up that area from the dynamics and vice versa. Everybody knows how everybody works together, and you're accomplishing all of your goals that you're that you're working at, things are going really well. The thing is, those stages are not linear. Okay, so if we've gone through forming, storming, and we're at norming, we're not quite at performing yet, and somebody else joins the group, what can happen to that new storm? Go right back to storming. Okay? In fact, you go back to forming for a very short period of time, but yes. And then you can go back to storming. You can get back up to Normandy. Something bad could happen, whether it's things are going bad and you got lost damage for that could change the group dynamic again. You're going to go back and forth through the stages. The goal is, as people get to know each other, to stay in that forming stage for more. So you're probably not going to get your classes to the performing stage in just 5 hours a week. But that's kind of what you're going to see in your group dynamics. So they're going to start really excited. You probably have some issues on Tuesday. Wednesday they get a little better. The way Edge applies to those groups.
So you guys, so far have done really good at
What
guessing
height of Edge class you'll see how it applies. So when a group is in the forming stage, which parts of Edge do you think are applying? In the first stage, forming. There's an edge.
Because we talk about how the kids learn,
use in your teaching stuff.
different,
Explain.
different methods, right?
Go right in the same order. Okay, so the reasons explain. Their enthusiasm is high, the skill set is low. They don't know anything. So you have to explain to them what they need to do, how they're supposed to do things. Okay, when they get into that storming phase, what do we have to do when we're storming? Run away.
I made my.
Okay, you got to go into guiding, right? Next stage. You need to help guide them through that process. If you see tension between two people arguing, that's where you can step in and try to be the mediator type concept.
So this guided
For a teaching session, if you have two guys that are constantly talking to each other and not paying attention, what would we do? Split them up, right? We're guiding the classroom process. We're taking them, we're splitting them up on different ends of the table or different parts of the group to alleviate that problem that's affecting the entire class. Okay? So we get through the storming stages, into norming. Norming, which I've mentioned yet. Oh wait, skip one. No, so storming is a demonstrating. Move that up, sorry. That's demonstrating. So you're setting the behavior standards for the classroom. Then in norming, we're guiding. Right? So that's where they should be working better as a group together. They need a little less input, but we need to help them through the process. And then when they're in the performing stage, we're at table, right? Just let them do their thing. You know, it's kind of exact way.
Anything that kind of we talk about, I also kind of, I skate up this too.
So it applies to different things. It's going to apply to the camp staff as a whole.
Teachers are there.
It's going to apply to
Sometimes
the
maybe
guys
apply
who's
the
in
skills
control.
themselves to
It's going to
demonstrate
apply
what
to
kids
each
are
of
really
you
trying to
in
do.
your departments.
So
You're part of at least 3 different groups that are going to go through stages.
we're gonna go back to our
Throughout the
open
summer.
activity. We're gonna say what were some of the things that we did that was application.
I like the
We had a character.
campsite group that they did controls across departments, everything was part of these things. So that you guys can know better.
She's the mother honey badger. Our song is that there was a musician.
Mess up. Big trouble.
What else did you do? Did they put it on purpose?
Oh, yeah, we saw
They
it.
haven't, no, it gets worse.
Last time was
I'm a little
pretty
more
bad.
strict.
Corrective action, meaning like trial and error, but also what holds.
That she's good. You guys are like.
Alright,
She'll wait for you to pass.
Huh?
Kill you.
No, we don't kill CIT. We wait till they're on staff. So this year you got a problem.
Did I skip CIT?
That's okay. Same. All right, so that's how the leading edge concept applies, you know, in that same concept. So, what are the thoughts or questions you have related to
action,
that?
so,
Class
again,
dynamics
so.
or you guys questions on concerns? What area are you going to be working in, Jordan?
Shotgun.
The
Okay.
most important thing is, what did was I just showing you how to bend it, or what did I do that product student application?
Welcome to the Honey Badger.
Yes, our humor call is a.
That's not the call. No, we're the
Yeah. See, this is what we are. I
Alright,
was
so we have student participants.
So it's one person causing problems.
troublemaker. There's one in every room.
Of course, it's the OA guy who's not going to do anything all summer anyway.
Just don't care.
You look at the objectives, I have the most like bullet points.
See how those are different.
What chapter?
Alright, now we're finally going to the last one. Does that make sense?
Chapter advising is the chief.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I introduced myself. I'm Jordan. But you can call me Jordy.
You